Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a mid-year, kinda sorta, because now it's like July, like it's almost not July anymore actually, but I'm a little late to things usually, so that's okay. I'm gonna be doing a book tag for the middle of the year. I have read just about 21-ish books this year, not including the books that I read halfway and didn't finish. They do not meet the requirements to be in this video. I'm gonna be talking about a couple of these books. I just want to talk about my 5-star reads, my disappointments, you know, the books that I thought were going to be really good and I was like, oh, like that kind of sucked. And then just books that I hope to read. Maybe I'll put in like a little August TBR, even though I'm going to be starting school next month. Yeah, I just want to talk about the books because, you know, they deserve to be talked about a little bit more. Like, I spent so much time reading them. I definitely did not reach the goal that I would want to be at for my mid-year point. I set my hope to be read goal as 25 books and I made it to 21, so that's good. That's besides the point. We're gonna talk about the books I've read. Maybe I'll give you some recommendations. I definitely have a few and I definitely have some non-recommendations too. So first I'm gonna talk about my 5-star reads of this year. Number 1 is The Road by Cormac McCarthy. Oh my gosh, this book is so amazing, guys, and it's such a quick read too. Like, the dialogue is so like short and sweet because it's really the atmosphere and the tone, the setting, and just the predicament that this man and son are in that really gives the message of the book. And I was tearing up at the end. Like, I was sobbing. I made a video about it. I made like a whole spring break reads, and this was in there because I read this for school, but it's still one of my favorites. I'm glad I have my own copy, and this is a must read, guys. This is post-apocalyptic society. Like, the world is just empty. It's void of everything. There's just such little people there, and it's this man and son who have survived, and they just keep walking and walking in hopes of finding new opportunity to start a new life. So please read this. 5 stars. My next 5-star read is Mudbound. This, I loved it. Oh my gosh. There's actually a movie adaptation too, and I did not expect to read this book. I got it from a thrift store. It was cheap, like it had good ratings, but I did not expect to love it as much as I did. It's about this family, World War II, post-World War II times, but it's in Mississippi. This white family named the McAllens, they're struggling to build up a farm and a remote area, and one of their tenants is this family called the Jacksons, and they both have family members that have served in World War II, but since they are 2 different races, there's some like headbutting in there, and it's just so interesting to see like how these families are they're so different, yet they're so similar at heart. Like, they want the same things. They want their families to thrive and be safe and prosper and just live a good life in this bad time of life. It's really, really, really thought-provoking. It's disgusting, and it's just raw. Like, it's real. You really feel for these characters. I had such a connection with each and every one of them. It switches perspectives throughout, and it makes you feel sick. But I'm so glad I read it because it really, really makes you think about things in a different way. It makes you think about both perspectives of racial issues during this time period. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. All right, so this next book is pretty self-explanatory, but A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. Easy 5 stars. Like I said in my other video, as I did a vlog on this, same video for my spring break, I don't recommend this book. I really don't, and I still don't. I took it upon myself. I read it. I joined the club, but it still really is a lot, and I do think about this book all the time. Each and every character had a certain impact on me, and it was a masterpiece. Oh gosh. See, this bookmark, I used it for so long in this book. Like, I can't use this for another book. Like, it doesn't feel right. Everything that belongs to this book, everything that went with me on this journey through this book can stay with this book. It's 4 friends. I'm sure you've heard of this book 800 different times. They're growing up together, and obviously life takes them in different ways, and their one friend named Jude has a really traumatic past, and we slowly learn about that past throughout the story, and you just want to like rip your heart out. Like, oh my gosh, it's so sad, guys. But 5 stars. If you do decide to read this, I wish you luck, because I'd say the last like 200 pages, I was just like I skipped school to finish reading this book. Yeah, so A Little Life, 5 stars, perfect, masterpiece. Mwah. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about the worst books slash disappointments. First, I'm gonna start with Hell House by Richard Matheson. I had this in my Amazon cart when I was like probably like 14, 15. Like that's how long ago I wanted to read this book, and thank God I did not, because oh my gosh, this book is less of a Hell House and more of like a orgy house. I hate to say that, but that's literally what it is. It's not really scary. It's more just like gross and weird, and I wish we knew more about the past of the house in order to fully be immersed in it, because I felt like it was just very predictable. I just was so confused on how everyone in the house stood with ghosts. It was weird, and I just stuff could happen, like plates were flying around and whatever, and just people were being hurt so bad, like clawed and blood by ghosts and whatever, but like the doctor or whatever just claimed that ghosts still didn't exist. I'm like, what universe are we living in here? Like there's so many different perspectives and it's so weird. It was just so weird. Like I can't even explain it, but I gave it like 2.5 stars because he definitely tried. Don't read that. So this one might be a little controversial, maybe, because I'm saying that I didn't like it. I gave it like 3 stars, I think. It wasn't like the worst. It was just the ending, and maybe I ruined it for myself, but I was convinced that something was happening besides what was actually happening. But in the end, it was just like, oh, this is actually happening. I hate to spoil the end. I'm trying not to, but I really didn't love this book. Like, I remember there being so much hype for it, but I read it and I was just like, oh, that wasn't what I was expecting. It was super fast paced and it was really lovable as I was reading it, but towards the end I was like, oh, okay. I'm kind of sad about this one because I feel like there could have been a really good plot twist thrown in here, but maybe that's besides the point. And I do understand the point of the book now that I've finished it. And I think it's interesting. Very interesting concept, and I understand how the sisters grew up together and how this is their unbreakable bond. Okay, next was like a really crappy romance book that I read. I found it in the clearance section of Half Price Books. I did not look up the reviews because my phone was dead, and that's what you get for not looking up the reviews. There's so much I have to say about this book. It's all in my Goodreads. Look at it, move on, don't read this book. The other romance book I read was Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. That was such a disappointment too. I feel as though the concept, it was bound to be not good, maybe, like with the age gap and the situation. I feel like it was just bound to be like an annoying and just like infuriating ending. But that's how I felt about that book. Like it got good stars, but I was just like it started to be cringe at the end and I just could not bear it. I'm like, I genuinely thought that they were just gonna live apart. They were gonna drift apart and live with the fact that they can't be together. She just made it weird. I'm sorry. Her writing is amazing, and I have books by Penelope Douglas that I still want to read, like Punk 57, but there's others I want to read by her that aren't like weird topics like that. I know some of her popular ones, or most of her popular ones, are the weird topic ones, but I want to give her another chance because I really did like her writing. Okay, so biggest surprise, I have 2 books that kind of go together for this one. They both just made me, there goes church. Okay, they both just made me like question everything, basically. These both got 4.5 stars, so they didn't make it quite to my 5-star list, but they were up there. I'm thinking of ending things and Tenders the Flesh. These books were insane. This was great. I really can't remember why I gave it like 0.5. I think it was just like a little bit, like slightly like overdone a little bit. Some stuff I felt like didn't go together well with this book, but it was still, it was great. The ending, the plot twist, that really got me. That really solidified its rating there. But this book, it's gross. It's horrible. It really tells you about the human mind and what we're capable of doing, especially in times of chaos. Yeah, read this. It's quick. It's super quick. It's a little bit gross, but it's great. I'm Thinking of Ending Things was just like the biggest mind I've ever read in my entire life, and I wish I could unread it because I don't know. It was great though. It was great, and I was up at like 12 a.m. reading it, so my experience was low-key it was enhanced. I had a headache. I was shaking. I kept looking around. I thought someone was gonna pop out at me, but then I was just like, oh. It was a shocker, but it was really good, and I guess there's a Netflix series. I will not watch that, but it was a good book, so Okay, so there was a couple other books that I read, but they don't really fit the category of what I wanted to talk about. They were either great or really bad. All the books that I just talked about were worthy of being in this video. So here's the ones that I didn't talk about, but I read them. Okay, the TBR portion of this video. I guess I'm technically making a TBR for the rest of this year then, which is a little bit easier than making a TBR for like this month. My brother is currently reading 1984 by George Orwell, and I told him that I would read it with him. So I think that honestly I might start this today. And I think I have a lot of rereads that I want to do this year, like The Handmaid's Tale. I have a fresh unwritten in copy that I want to mark up and make my own because I did read this once and I need to read it again and get my perspective at the age of 19 of how amazing this book is. There's a lot of horror books I want to read and some non-horror books too. I still have yet to read Beautiful Boy and Tweak. I need to probably make like a video with these two. It's a must because I need to know what happens in these books. And I also, guys, bought fresh copies of all the Hunger Games books. I've actually only read the first Hunger Games book for school, but I still loved it and I want to go back and read the whole series, so then I'm a super fan and I know everything that happened. I've watched the movies plenty of times, but nothing is better than the books, and look how cute these are. Got them from Target, and I still have to get the newest one, which is like, what is it called? The Sunrise on the Reaping. Yeah, I need to get that one too. That's a good TBR, and I hope I can get those done plus more because as you can see, I have more books because I'm a hoarder, but we're working on that. I got my library card. So anyways, guys, that is going to be the end of this video. I really appreciate you for coming along this ride. If you are new here, like I said, my name is Aubrey. I like to do reading vlogs, vlogs. I like to do art sometimes. I just kind of go where the wind takes me at this point. But I love YouTube. I love doing it. I love filming these videos for you guys, and I hope to connect with so many of you guys so I can talk and we can talk about our books together. We can laugh, we can cry, and we could just build a great community. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Stay safe out there.